one of the most durable and successful of actors. You are never out of work, and you're always in the public eye.
Please God. I have to work. I got 7 children, and they all have expensive tastes. And I do too.
At 95, Buddy Ebsen finally broke his silence, and what he revealed left everyone stunned. For decades, rumors swirled about his time in Hollywood, but now the truth is out. What secret did he keep hidden all these years? And how does it change everything we thought we knew about him? Stay with us to know the rise of a legend. Buddy Ebsen was born in a small town, far from the glitz and glamour of Hollywood. From a young age, he was filled with an adventurous spirit, often exploring the nearby woods and dreaming big. His father, a dancing instructor, instilled in him a love for movement, which would later shape his future in ways he could never have imagined. As a child, Buddy faced his fair share of struggles. Growing up during a time of economic uncertainty, his family often moved in search of better opportunities. Despite the hardships, he remained a bright and curious student, always eager to learn and excel. His love for performing arts was evident even then, whether he was entertaining his classmates with jokes or mimicking his favorite actors from the silver screen. Education was important in the Ebsen household. Buddy's parents emphasized the value of academics, and he initially pursued a career in medicine at the University of Florida. However, the pull of the stage was too strong to resist. His time in college was marked by a growing realization that his heart belonged elsewhere. He later transferred to Rollins College, where he found himself more deeply immersed in the arts. His natural charisma and talent didn't go unnoticed, and he began to make a name for himself on campus. His academic journey, though promising, took a sudden turn when financial difficulties forced him to leave school. With little money but a heart full of dreams, Buddy made the daring decision to head to New York City. It was a leap of faith that would change his life forever. Arriving in New York with nothing but ambition and determination, Buddy struggled to find his place in the bustling city. He took on odd jobs while auditioning for roles, facing countless rejections before finally landing his first break in vaudeville. His unique style of dance, a blend of grace and precision, caught the attention of industry insiders, paving the way for greater opportunities. His journey from a small-town boy to a Hollywood star was filled with perseverance and passion. Though he would go on to achieve great fame, it was these early years, his childhood adventures, academic struggles, and the relentless pursuit of his dreams that shaped the man he would become. Through every challenge, Buddy Ebsen remained true to himself, proving that success isn't just about talent. It's about resilience, hard work, and the courage to chase one's dreams. His path to Hollywood stardom was anything but easy. Behind the fame lies a journey filled with struggles and setbacks. Let's tell you the toughest chapters of his story. The truth about his Hollywood journey. In the late 1920s, Ebsen ventured to New York City with his sister Vilma, with dreams of making it big in show business. The duo, known as the Baby Astairs, captivated audiences with their dance routines, leading to performances in vaudeville and on Broadway. Their talent did not go unnoticed, and soon Hollywood beckoned. The siblings made their film debut in Broadway Melody of 1936, showcasing their unique dance styles and charisma. However, the glitz and glamour of Hollywood came with its own set of challenges. Ebsen faced a significant setback during the production of The Wizard of Oz in 1939. Originally cast as the Tin Man, he suffered a severe reaction to the aluminum dust used in his makeup, leading to hospitalization and his eventual replacement. Following this incident, Ebsen became embroiled in a contract dispute with MGM, which left him idle for extended periods. During this hiatus, he took up sailing and became so proficient that he taught seamanship to naval officer candidates. With the onset of World War II, Ebsen sought to serve his country. After multiple rejections from the Navy, the United States Coast Guard accepted his application, commissioning him as a lieutenant, junior grade. He served as a damage control officer and later as the executive officer on the USS Pocatello, a patrol frigate responsible for weather patrol duties in the North Pacific. Ebsen's return to Hollywood post-war was fraught with challenges. The industry had evolved during his absence, and re-establishing himself proved difficult. He candidly shared, "When I returned, I went to New York to do a revival of Showboat. I went back to Hollywood in 1946 and tried to resume my career there, but everyone kept asking me where I had been. I tried to tell them there had been a war, but it didn't make an impression. It was as though they resented me for having left Hollywood." Despite these hurdles, Ebsen's resilience led him to television, a medium that would redefine his career. In the 1950s, he gained recognition as Georgie Russell, the loyal companion to Fess Parker's Davy Crockett in the Disney television miniseries. This role reignited his popularity and showcased his versatility as an actor. The 1960s brought Ebsen his most iconic role as Jed Clampett in The Beverly Hillbillies. The show, which aired from 1962 to 1971, became a cultural phenomenon, attracting millions of viewers. Ebsen's portrayal of the good-natured mountaineer who strikes oil and relocates his family to Beverly Hills endeared him to audiences nationwide. Reflecting on the show's success, Ebsen remarked, "I wasn't surprised the show was a success. I think our kind of humor was a pleasant switch from the medical dramas that dominated television just before we went on the air." Not one to rest on his laurels, Ebsen continued to evolve as an actor. In 1917, he took on the titular role in Barnaby Jones, playing a milk-drinking detective who comes out of retirement to solve his son's murder. The series ran for 8 seasons, further cementing Ebsen's legacy in television history. Throughout his career, Ebsen faced numerous challenges, from health scares to industry politics. Yet, his passion for performance and his unwavering determination allowed him to navigate these obstacles with grace. Reflecting on his journey, Ebsen once said, "Television is an actor killer. We work too hard and use too much material. If I could uninvent anything, it would be television. No fooling, but we're stuck with television and have to make the best of it." Beyond his Hollywood journey, Buddy Ebsen's love life had its own twists and surprises, filled with unexpected turns that many never knew about. Buddy Ebsen's untold romantic life. Buddy Ebsen, renowned for his roles in The Beverly Hillbillies and Barnaby Jones, led a personal life as dynamic and multifaceted as his on-screen characters. At the age of 28, Ebsen married Ruth Cambridge. Their union brought forth 2 daughters, Elizabeth and Alex. However, the pressures of Ebsen's burgeoning career and the demands of family life led to their divorce in 1942. Despite the separation, Ebsen remained a devoted father, ensuring that his daughters were well cared for and maintaining a presence in their lives. Shortly after his first marriage ended, Ebsen met Nancy Wolcott, a fellow lieutenant in the United States Coast Guard during World War II. The two shared a bond forged in service and mutual respect. They married on September 6, 1945, and together they had 5 children: Susanna, Kathy, Bonnie, Kirsten, known as Kiki, and Dustin. This marriage spanned nearly 4 decades, during which Ebsen balanced his thriving acting career with his role as a father. His daughters, Kiki, Kathy, and Bonnie, became accomplished horsewomen, a testament to the family's shared interests and close-knit nature. Despite their long partnership, Ebsen and Nancy divorced in 1985. In 1985, Ebsen married his third wife, Dorothy Dottie Knott, a woman 40 years his junior. Their marriage did not produce any children, but they remained together until Ebsen's death in 2003. This union marked a period of personal contentment for Ebsen as he continued to pursue his passions for sailing, painting, and writing. Ebsen's commitment to his children was evident throughout his life. His daughters from his second marriage, Kiki, Kathy, and Bonnie, became accomplished horsewomen, a testament to the values of discipline and dedication he instilled in them. Kiki Ebsen, in particular, gained recognition as a talented singer and songwriter, showcasing the artistic legacy of the Ebsen family. In 2014, she released Scarecrow Sessions, a jazz album paying tribute to her father's life and career, highlighting the deep bond they shared. Despite the demands of Hollywood, Ebsen prioritized his role as a father. He often spoke of the importance of family and ensured that his children were shielded from the often intrusive nature of the entertainment industry. His homes were places of solace and comfort, where he could retreat from the spotlight and focus on his loved ones. Reflecting on his life, Ebsen once said, "You get more negative reactions than positive reactions as you go through life. And the big lesson is, nobody counts you out but yourself. I never have, I never will." This resilience was not only evident in his professional endeavors, but also in his personal life, where he navigated the complexities of relationships and fatherhood with grace. In his later years, Ebsen found solace in his family and personal pursuits. He became a folk artist and an avid coin collector, co-founding the Beverly Hills Coin Club in 1987. His collection included many rarities, such as a $4 gold piece worth $200,000. As he entered his 90s, Ebsen continued to keep active, publishing his best-selling novel, Kelly's Quest, 2 years before his death. For years, rumors swirled about why Buddy Ebsen was replaced in The Wizard of Oz. Then, after staying silent for so long, he finally decided to reveal the truth. And what really happened might just shock you. At 95, he finally spoke out. At 95 years old, Buddy Ebsen finally broke his silence. His voice, weathered by time but still carrying the weight of an untold story, trembled as he recounted his painful experience with The Wizard of Oz. For decades, Hollywood had spun its own version of events, stories that masked the truth of what really happened behind the scenes. But now, with the end of his life drawing near, Ebsen decided it was time to set the record straight. In 1938, Buddy Ebsen was forced to sign an exclusive contract with MGM for 2 years after Louis B. Mayer threatened to ruin his career. During this contract period, he was cast in the role of Scarecrow in the musical adaptation of L. Frank Baum's 1900 children's novel, The Wizard of Oz. It was a dream role, one that any actor would have killed for. The film was set to be one of the greatest productions of its time, with stunning visuals, enchanting songs, and a cast that would become legendary. But behind the dazzling illusion of Oz, a much darker reality lurked. Rumors had already begun circulating that the production was cursed. Strange accidents on set, unexplained fires, and near-fatal incidents seemed to plague everyone involved. Still, Ebsen was excited to bring the Tin Man to life. What he didn't know was that stepping into the role would nearly cost him his own life. From the moment he put on the Tin Man costume, Ebsen knew something was wrong. The metallic suit was stiff, heavy, and suffocating. But that was nothing compared to the silver makeup and aluminum dust mixture applied directly to his skin. With every breath, he inhaled tiny particles of toxic metal, each one poisoning his body bit by bit. At first, It was just discomfort, a tightness in his chest, a strange dizziness. But soon, the pain became unbearable. His lungs burned, his skin itched violently, and his body ached as if being crushed under the weight of something unseen. He tried to push through it, believing it was just part of the job. After all, he was a professional. Then one night, the true horror struck. Ebsen woke up gasping for air. His chest felt like it was collapsing. He clawed at his throat, desperately trying to breathe, but nothing worked. The room spun around him, and the last thing he remembered was collapsing onto the floor. When he woke up, he was in a hospital bed. A nurse stood beside him, her face filled with worry. "You almost didn't make it," she whispered, holding his hand. The doctors confirmed that the aluminum dust had coated his lungs, nearly suffocating him from the inside out. His body was shutting down. For weeks, he remained in the hospital, fighting to recover. The studio never sent anyone to visit. There were no calls, no letters, only silence. And then, as soon as he was well enough to understand, they delivered the final blow. MGM had decided to replace him. Just like that. Jack Haley was brought in as the new Tin Man, and the studio fed the public a different story. One that didn't involve near-death experiences or life-threatening reactions. Instead, they claimed that Ebsen had simply stepped down due to an allergic reaction. Allergic reaction? He had almost died. But in Hollywood, the truth didn't matter. What mattered was the magic of the movies, and any scandal surrounding the production had to be buried. Ebsen wasn't the only actor to suffer on the Wizard of Oz set. His replacement, Jack Haley, developed an eye infection from the aluminum paste used instead of powder. Margaret Hamilton, who played the Wicked Witch of the West, sustained serious burns when a pyrotechnic stunt went wrong. The film became a classic, but behind the magic was a history of suffering and near tragedy. Even after he left the hospital, Ebsen's health was never the same. His lungs bore the scars of the ordeal, and he spent the rest of his life avoiding anything that might trigger another attack. Though he went on to have a successful career, starring in the Beverly Hillbillies and Barnaby Jones, the ghost of the Wizard of Oz never stopped haunting him. In his 1993 autobiography, The Other Side of Oz, Buddy Ebsen shared that he was almost the Scarecrow and would have kept his role if it weren't for Ray Bolger. Arthur Freed's inside scoop of his Scarecrow casting was a moment of celebration for Ebsen, although it was short-lived. Ebsen's dream was crushed when he reached the rehearsal hall. Ray Bolger was there, and Ebsen remembered that he immediately saw that Bolger was a perfect Scarecrow, even before the news was delivered to him. According to Ebsen, Bolger's agent, Abe Lastfogel, worked for the William Morris Agency, which he described as all-powerful. Even in his final years, Ebsen would sometimes hear the song, "If I Only Had a Heart," and shake his head, because he knew more than anyone that the price of playing the Tin Man was almost too much to bear. His daughter Kiki Ebsen later explained the hazardous makeup to Fox News. They covered his face in white clown makeup, and they dusted his face and hands with aluminum powder. Real aluminum dust. It was in the air. And because the lights were hot, his makeup melted several times a day. So he had to be reapplied with aluminum dust. And he inhaled it over time. It coated the inside of his lungs like paint. He could not get oxygen to his blood. But he didn't know this was happening. Buddy Ebsen passed away in 2003 at the age of 95. Though his story was finally told, the truth of The Wizard of Oz remained a chilling reminder of how Hollywood could turn dreams into nightmares, how this revelation changed his legacy. For decades, The Wizard of Oz was seen as a whimsical masterpiece, a film filled with magic and wonder. When Buddy Ebsen finally revealed the harrowing story of how aluminum poisoning nearly killed him, it wasn't just a tale of personal suffering, it was an exposé of the brutal, unspoken struggles actors faced, humiliations, injuries, and sacrifices no one ever talked about. Ebsen's revelation shattered the illusion of old Hollywood's golden age. Fans who had loved The Wizard of Oz for years suddenly saw it in a different light. Beneath the surface of one of the most celebrated films in history lay an industry that prioritized perfection over people. The heartbreaking truth was that Ebsen had nearly died for a role he was later replaced in. Without warning, without compensation, and without a shred of recognition. He suffered in silence, as many actors did at the time, while the film went on to become a beloved classic. But when the truth finally came out, something extraordinary happened. Instead of fading into obscurity as just another Hollywood casualty, Ebsen's name became more respected than ever. People began to admire him, not just for his roles, but for his resilience. Fans who had known him as Jed Clampett from the Beverly Hillbillies or as the sharp-witted detective in Barnaby Jones now saw him in a new light, one of survival, strength, and perseverance. Suddenly, playing the Tin Man didn't seem like a whimsical experience. It was a battle, and Ebsen had fought it alone, paying a price no actor should ever have to pay. His pain became a symbol of the struggles that so many actors endured behind the scenes, pressured by studios, discarded when inconvenient, and left to suffer in silence. Yet, despite Hollywood's betrayal, Ebsen's legacy was not one of bitterness, but of triumph. His career, which could have ended in that hospital bed, instead soared to new heights. He became a beloved television star, his warm smile and charm captivating millions. The Beverly Hillbillies made him a household name, but his personal story made him a legend. Today, when fans watch The Wizard of Oz, many think of him, not as the Tin Man, but as the man who almost gave his life for the silver screen, only to rise again, stronger than ever. His story is no longer one of loss, but of enduring legacy. Buddy Ebsen was more than a Hollywood star. He was a warrior, and his legacy shines brighter than ever. Does Buddy Ebsen's revelation make you see his legacy in a whole new light? Share your thoughts in the comments. Thanks for watching.